Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Single Dad's Cookbook. Today we're going to be making a breakfast omelette. So for this I've got some new potatoes that were from dinner yesterday, some sausage, some bacon, mushrooms, eggs, bit onion, bit cheese. I'm going to start off by just chopping everything up, making sure it's all roughly the same size, so again that you're getting a bite of everything in the omelette. Going to start off with the sausages. What we want is little nuggets of the sausage. So just lined up all four of them. Watch your fingers, cut them into little bite-sized chunks. Next we do the same with the bacon. I've got a couple of rashers, just again bite-sized chunks. At this stage we're going to give the knife a quick wash. Guys, if you are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. It costs you nothing to subscribe, but it does mean the world to me. So again, we're just slicing up the mushroom. Nothing too strenuous, nothing too technical. Once we've done the mushrooms, again we're moving on to the potatoes. These are from yesterday. They've cooled down, been in the fridge, so again we're just cutting them in 1/2 inch thick. You want them to maintain their structure while you're reheating them up and putting a bit of crisp on them. Now for the onion, I'm only going to use half of this, so this time I cut it in half. Then I'll top and tail. Get rid of them. Take off the 2 layers as normal. Anybody who's been watching my videos, get rid of them. And then we're just going to thinly slice the onion. Once you've got all your bits together, got to move over to the frying pan. Now I've got a non-stick pan here, bit of oil in there. First thing we're going to add in is the sausages. They're going to take the longest to cook, so we're just working our way backwards. We're also going to use the bacon fat. We're going to get that and the sausage fat rendered down so that we're using it to cook the other ingredients. Now we will need to add in some oil into the pan, which I do a couple of times. You can see here, got a bit of colour on them. You just want to keep them mixing around. Give them a bit of a toss. Make sure that everything's non-stick. You see the colour coming on them now. At this stage, when they're just about done, you want to add in the bacon. And we're putting this in now so it can actually render down, and we're going to use that to cook the other bits and pieces. Guys, I hope you are enjoying these videos. Like I said, if you can hit that subscribe button, it would be amazing, as I'm struggling with the bacon here. Yep, finally got it. There you go. Costs you nothing, helps me a lot. Once you've got the bacon in, give it a bit of a jiggle round. Now you just want to cook this down till it's a nice crispy consistency, and we want to make sure everything's there. If it does start to stick, you'll see there it's all nice and cooked. I just give it a bit of a mix round with a spatula. You want to make sure you're getting all the nice crispy bits off the bottom. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to transfer these into a bowl. Now the reason for that is you don't want to overload the pan. You want to just make it as easy as possible for yourself. Once you've got all the sausage and the bacon out, you'll see that we want to keep the oil in the pan. Reason for this is we're going to use that flavouring to cook the mushrooms. Now, the secret with mushrooms and getting crispy mushrooms is to not touch them. You've just got to leave them alone. So once they go in the pan, what we do is we add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. We give them a quick toss just so that they're covered in the oil. If you do need to add, if you see the pan drying up a little bit, you do need to add a little bit more oil, but then you just leave them. And this is a great tip for if you're making any kind of mushroom for a breakfast. If you leave your mushrooms, they will go crispy. If you keep moving them, they'll keep their moisture. But if you leave them alone, you'll see it. Now you can see the pan was getting dried up a little bit, so I've just added a little dash of oil in there. After a few minutes, you'll see them bubbling away there. We're just going to turn this one just to show you, and there you go. It's got a nice crisp on it. So at this stage, again, you just want to start turning them all over just to make sure that you've got a nice colour on both sides. Now they've all been turned over and they've all had the other side to cook on as well. You want to just put them in beside the bacon and the sausage. Set it aside for a couple of minutes whilst you move on to the next section. You'll see the oil is in the pan. So again, you just want to make sure that's evenly distributed in there when we add in the potatoes. Now you want to put these face down, because what you want is you want not only to bring the temperature back up, but you want to form a nice crust on these potatoes. Again, you're looking for the texture. Remember, you're not adding loads of salt because the salt will come from the bacon. But if you want, you can give them a little bit. So you'll see them starting to stick there a little bit. At this stage, if you want to add in a little bit of oil, you can do. Get your spatula in. And if you turn them over, you can see that they have got a nice golden crisp on there. Just keep turning them over until they're fully cooked and you've got a nice crisp potato. you've turned them all over, this is where you add in your onion, because you're now going to start rebuilding the pan. You want to make sure the onion goes in, and you want to, again, add a little bit more oil if need be, but you want to give them a good old toss, get everything covered up. You can see here the onions are starting to soften a little bit. I've added a little bit more oil in. Remember, you can always add oil, you can't take it away without too much fuss. So you give them a good spin around, toss them around so you've got it all mixed. And at this stage, once you know that your onions are on the turn and they're just softening up beautifully, you're adding everything back in. So you're adding in your mushrooms, your bacon, and your sausages. Give them a mix, so they're all mixed in together. A couple jumped out the pan there onto the cooker hob. Give it a mix. You can use a spatula if you want. Now at this stage, what we're going to do is crack the 3 eggs into the bowl. So we've got the bowl there. So we're just going to crack these in, and we're just making a really simple omelette. 3 eggs, splash of milk, a tiny bit of salt, bit of pepper, and whisk away. And we've added in a little bit of cheese to that. Once you've whisked that and you've got it to the consistency you want, we're going to add that into this. So now everything's been heating up, everything's been mixing with the flavours, all that kind of stuff. You want to now, at this stage, give it one last mix, make sure everything's off the bottom and it's a good mix, so you're not just eating sausage, you're not just eating mushroom, you're not just eating bacon, you're getting a bit of everything. See the cheese in there? And you want to pop that in your pan. Now you want it to be nice and hot, so as soon as the egg hits it, it starts to cook, and you just want to run that around your pan. Give it a bit of a jiggle so that there's no air pockets in it, and you just want to pop that there. At this stage, after honestly, a minute, whatever it may be, as the egg's starting to cook on the bottom, again, you just roll it around the pan. If you wanted to, you could add more eggs. It's completely up to you. So at this stage now, all I'm going to do is keep an eye on it, move it around the pan like I said. You've got that. I'm going to add a little bit more cheese onto the top, just so that when it goes in, we've got the grill on, so it's going to go nice and bubbly, nice and it's going to puff up in the grill. And that's the final process. So it's been in the oven, it's taken its little time, we've got it there. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this. Stay safe. From my family to yours, Single Dad Cookbook, signing off.